Greetings class, Chris Haskins here with the realestateroundup.com. Welcome to another training for today, and thank you for taking the time to join me. I got a good one for you today. I've been doing some soul searching and just trying to make sure that I'm bringing you the right information for my ministry. The ministry that I'm on is to uplift the financial literacy of my fellow mankind through investing in real estate, through real estate investing. Today, what I want to talk to you about is why most successful real estate wholesalers end up going broke. Why do most successful, or let's say most successful flippers end up going broke, people that buy low and sell high. The reason I can talk to you about this is I'm glad you asked. Since 2004, I've been doing that, buying, flipping houses. And I noticed about 8 years ago, I was headed for destruction, or I was headed to being broke if I didn't change my mentality. So I have to get up in your brain a little bit and do some karate inside your head today, y'all. So I don't want you to, just stay with me. I don't want to, I'm going to stretch you. I'm going to stretch you just a little bit today because I don't want you to go broke. So I don't want you to be on the trajectory I was on back in about 2010. All right, so we're going to get right to this. I don't want you going broke. Why most real estate wholesalers or investors, flippers, end up going broke, even if you're successful. Ellen Sturgis Hooper, the poet, said, "I slept and dreamed that life was beauty. When I awoke, I found that life was duty." I slept and dreamed that life was beauty. When I awoke, I found that life was duty, aka responsibility. My daughter came up to me yesterday. She goes, "Dad, I want to be rich." I'm like, okay, well, if you want to be rich, I went right in on her. Well, you don't. I'm like, well, you're gonna lose it real quick because you don't have any assets to bring you monthly income. You don't have any houses or any businesses that are going to generate your net worth. We need to grow your net worth and talk about your wealth before you talk about being rich, because you're gonna lose it all. I'm gonna go right in on her, and my wife is looking at me like, "Chris, what are you talking about?" I'm like, you know what? You're 5 years old. You're 5 years old. She don't care about no assets, liabilities, net worth, income producing assets, businesses, none of that stuff. So I had to turn it off. I had to turn off because I'm a coach and trainer. I hear people tell me all the time they want to be rich, but not a 5-year-old. So she goes, "Dad, I want to be rich." I turned it off, and I'm like, you know what? What would you buy if you were rich? She goes, "I would buy a big old box of candy." I'm like, you know what? You can buy as much candy as you want. But the duty, my personal duty, which I guess I've kind of taken on the burden, is to help mankind uplift their financial literacy. But I can't start with 5-year-olds. But I am going to still try. I'm not going to let her think that being rich means you're done, because being rich is only a step. Most investors, I don't know if it's you or not, but you might be a full-time investor now, or you might even be successful. And you probably know a lot more about this than I do, but from time to time, it's good to be reminded of these things, right? So these lights are hot. I'm kind of getting into the lights now. Most real estate investors are wholesaling. I still do wholesaling, but the entry level into real estate is wholesaling, right? And before I forget, don't forget to subscribe to my channel here below. If you like the content, comment, any questions, I'll answer them. Most people want to wholesale in real estate, right? So wholesaling, why? Because it requires no cash, no credit. Everybody has beat into our heads, you can get into real estate, no credit, no cash, use other people's money. That's the mission, or the kind of prose of what the internet is pushing on people, right? I really can't stand it, but this is how it works. People think you get in cash. You can, and I do deals like that, no cash, no credit also. But the problem with wholesaling is it's constantly marketing. You got your letters, your postcards, either got a TV commercial, you've got billboards, you've got your cards, your different cars driving around advertising, what have you. All that costs money, and this is an engine that goes out every month. When I started out back in 04, I was just wholesaling only. I loved wholesaling. I thought it was the best thing in the world. Wholesaling was I was going to do wholesale until I died. Because I was making $5, $10, $15, $20, $30, $40,000 just taking what is wholesaling? All we're doing is getting a house under contract, right? And then we're selling that contract, that piece of paper. We're selling that piece of paper, this contract. We sell it to a buyer. You'd be the buyer for a fee. So we got our contract here. All we do is sell it to the buyer. The piece of paper, literally guys, you're taking a piece of paper and selling it to the buyer. So you never actually buy anything. And for what I've heard in my studies is showing us that you're not even really in the real estate business. You're in the paper moving business, right? Because you never actually acquire an asset. So real estate wholesalers are constantly, it's like a train. Keep going, looking at deals every day. And sometimes you might have employee, you might have an office if you're only wholesaling. All right, so wholesaling is constantly. What happens when you stop looking at houses with wholesaling? The money stops, right? Let's talk about the flippers, right? So we got, I'm a flipper too. And by the way, I'm not saying any of this is good or bad. This is just my opinion, what I've seen over the years since 2004. And I've walked the walk. So I hate that song, Walk It Like You Talk. I hate it, but sometimes you gotta really walk it like you talk it, because you know, if you lived it, then you can talk it. All right, if you walked it, you can go ahead and talk it. So let's say you're a flipper. You're flipping houses, and the big headline today is you can buy ugly houses, fix them up, sell them for a profit using other people's money. Right here we are again, OPM, using other people's money. So you're gonna go in, and I do this too, use the bank's money, use the hard money lender's money, or use private investors to fund your real estate transaction, right? You're going to buy it, do all the work, fix it up, everybody's happy, HGTV, you go get a big check. Yes, you can do that. You need to do that to earn income, right? Both of these tasks here, both of these activities are what we call earned income, which means it requires time. This is what you're doing for your income, what you do day to day. So the problem with these two is you're putting out, the main problem, you're putting out to the universe, one, all I want to do is find deals, sell paper, right? Two, with the wholesaler, two, with the flipper, I want to constantly be using other people's money and not whose? My own. Not use my own money. What is that putting out into the universe? What is that telling the universe? I don't want to put my own money into my own self. I don't want to use my money on myself, so I want to go use everybody else's money. And what did you constantly, and I did the same thing, what do you get better at? I got better in borrowing money from other people, never using my own money. So the skill that will help all real estate investors, wholesalers and flippers to not go broke over time is we have to master learning how to use your money on your deals. Use your money on yourself. Make money with your own money. Instead of telling the universe, I don't want to use my money on my deals, tell the universe, you know what, I may use some other people's money, but that's OPM, right? We don't want to be addicted to OPM. We're addicted to OPM. Other people's money, we're addicted to it, right? You're going to tell the universe, you're deflecting your money for yourself. So what do we do with the money that we make from the deals when we flip a house or we do a wholesale deal? What do? We spend it on ourselves, right? Because what we say we're going to do, we're going to keep going out and finding new deals, or we're going to keep going out using other people's money, right? Borrowing other people's money. So constantly you're telling the universe, I don't have to worry about making money for myself or earning money for myself. I'll always use somebody else's. You gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. All right. What does this have to do with not going broke? So when you start using your own money in your deals, it tells the universe, listen, I need my money. I need it. Because the more you use your own money, you have less of it going out to your lenders, right? And then you'll eventually have assets that are free and clear. All the income comes to you minus taxes, insurance, and but still income taxes and property taxes. Upkeep if you have some. If you do it like me, you don't have any repairs, right? But you want to use your own money because it develops the skill of being able to use what you earn on yourself as opposed to using other people's stuff. You're actually telling the universe, listen, I need it to be some of it coming here instead of it going out. Key here, George Clason in The Richest Man in Babylon, a part of what I earn is mine to keep. A part of what I earn is mine to keep. Let's break that definition, that little saying down. One of the 7 cures for a lean purse, or you want to call it the 5 laws of gold in his book. Let's break that down. Part of what I earn is mine to keep. Okay, I want to focus on that word keep. To have or retain possession of. To have or retain. Most people think when they get their checks, it's theirs to keep. I've heard people say, well, you're supposed to pay yourself first. If you have a job, you're not even paying yourself first anyway. But you can still take some of that paycheck and put it somewhere that is yours to keep. What do I mean by keep? Let's keep on going. To retain possession of. Retain, to continue to have something. Only way you're going to continue to have something if you were to sink it or lock it into an asset, in my opinion. That asset could either be a business or a house or some other type of income producing asset like a commercial building or multifamily. So it's still real estate. So on this channel that you're watching, we're sinking money into real estate. Because remember, Gary Keller and the Millionaire Real Estate Investor, we only have temporary possession of all of our income. All of our income is temporary. I remember getting those big old checks, $20,000 back in the day doing wholesaling, and it was all gone. Eventually, I'd give it away to either, I don't know, utilities, lifestyle, always giving it away to different merchants because I wanted to buy stuff for myself instead of turning that around and spending that money on myself, right? So we have to master the art of using our own money on ourselves. Got it? Make money with your own money. Go out there, do deals, put some money into your deals. Don't be scared to save up over time and put some money into these flips. Now, one other reason we need to do this is because only way to gain wealth, which I was chastising my 5-year-old for, right? Is for income to be earned disproportionately to the time that we put in. So for my rental properties or my lease option properties, I may spend 5 hours a year on $1,000 a month income, right? Or let's say $900 a month income. So let's just say $1,000 bucks. So that's $12,000 a year, 5 hours of my time. How many times can I duplicate that? How many times can I duplicate 5 hours a year in one house, right? As opposed to 40 hours a week. I don't know if you're making 50, 60, 70, $100,000. You're still putting in the time. So when you stop, the money comes. So if I spend 5 hours on each house, say if I had 3 houses, that's 15 hours a year that I'm spending on my houses. Isn't that amazing? It is truly amazing that I don't have to put time in, that I can be doing other things, wholesaling, flipping, while my lease options are still cranking. That's how you don't go broke being a real estate investor, guys. You have to master the art using the money on your own deals, using your money on your deals. You have to learn how to make money with your own money. Okay, so let's sign out of here. I want you to go out there and create. I'm challenging you today. Create a bank account just for investments. Please, please. I was just doing some research before I did this video. What is it? Bankrates.com did a survey, and they surveyed 5,000 people, and they asked them how much savings they had. And all of them, well, not all of them, but the majority of them had less than $1,000. So the average savings in America is between $1,000 and $5,000, which is pathetic because one month of no income can take you out, right? So go out there, save some of your money, turn it around as opposed to spending it on yourself. Turn it around, keep some of it, like George Clason says. A part of what I earn is mine to keep, right? So keep it. Put it into a house. That way it will always be yours. You're going to lock it up into the bricks, brick and mortar. That way nobody can take it from you until you sell it. You can always liquidate the property, right? But if you're only wholesaling and flipping and renovating, one day the train will stop. I promise you. Okay, so don't go broke. This is Chris Haskins with the Real Estate Roundup. If you got some good knowledge, or if you have some ways to share of different things that other investors to not go broke over time, because sure, you can make money actively. Share some of your ideas or your philosophies on what some other investors can do to not go broke over time. Chris Haskins with the realestateroundup.com. I'll see you next time.